Boeing has been really busy lately these past few weeks, quietly settling lawsuits related to the MAX disasters. And this week, there is news of even more settlements. Boeing filed a joint court motion with families of the passengers who died in the Ethiopian MAX crash. They also accepted sole liability for the fatal accident and laid out a process to settle almost all of the claims. Pretty amazing, right? Well, maybe not so much. Because after you hear all the facts, you might be wondering how Boeing got off so easy yet again. I'll tell you all about it next on Maximus. Greetings everybody, Maximus here. I hope you're all doing well, wherever you may be all around this great big world of ours. According to the Seattle Times, the court filing states that the defendant, Boeing, has admitted that it and it alone produced an airplane that had an unsafe condition that was a proximate cause of plaintiff's compensatory damages caused by the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 accident. Boeing, and specifically then CEO Dennis Muhlenberg, who initially tried to blame poorly trained pilots as a cause of the crashes, have now explicitly agreed that the pilots were not at fault. They also exonerated two MAX suppliers, the company that built the jet's angle of attack sensor Rosemount Aerospace, a division of Rockwell Collins, and Rockwell Collins as well, who built to Boeing specification the aircraft's faulty flight control software. The motion includes a stipulation that was signed by all but two of the families, stating that compensatory damages for each individual claim will be decided either in mediation or in court in Illinois, where Boeing is headquartered. Boeing also agreed not to try to force overseas families, many of them in Africa, to seek damages in their home countries where damages would be far lower. In a statement Wednesday, Boeing said the agreement allows the parties to focus their efforts on determining the appropriate compensation for each family. Boeing said it is committed to ensuring that all families who lost loved ones in the accidents are fully and fairly compensated for their loss. But don't worry, because I hear you out there saying, okay, so then what does Boeing get out of their magnanimous act of contrition? Well, Boeing gets an explicit exclusion of any claim for punitive meaning additional, any punitive damages on top of the settlement, and also an end to the legal discovery process or depositions that would seek any further evidence of wrongdoing by Boeing. The stipulation states that the jury shall not hear evidence on issues of liability. The parties further agree that no evidence or argument about punitive damages will properly be the subject of discovery or be admitted. But Ralph Nader, the longtime consumer advocate known for using tort law to hold corporations to account, called it a strange settlement without Boeing having to guarantee any dollars whatsoever. Nader's niece, 24-year-old Rose Stumo, died in the Ethiopian crash, and her family is one of the only two families that have not signed the stipulation. In a statement, Nader noted that the compensatory damages will be paid by Boeing's insurers. He sharply criticized the lack of potential punitive damages, which would have had to have been paid by Boeing, not their insurance company. The great American tort law system assuring individual justice against wrongdoers has been reduced to a collective slap on Boeing's wing, Nader said. Boeing's acceptance of liability is the closest it has come to a full admission of blame for the two deadly MAX crashes that killed 346 people. However, it still falls short of telling the world exactly what went wrong in the design and certification of the MAX, how it happened, and who was responsible. The financial compensation that each family will receive is still to be worked out in lengthy proceedings that will consider the lives of those lost in each family's circumstances. The agreement states that the families are entitled to the full measure of damages permitted under Illinois law. The damages are to be weighed in the same terms for each family, regardless of the citizenship, residency, domicile, or nationality of any plaintiff or decedent. This will include consideration of loss of economic support, loss of services, loss of society, grief, sorrow, and mental suffering of the decedent's next of kin, loss of consortium, loss of instruction, moral training, and superintendence. burial expenses, pain and suffering, and emotional distress of the decedent. The agreement also states that the lawyers for the families will be permitted to use legal discovery to access such material as the data from the flight recorders. That will allow them to create an animation showing what the passengers experienced during the 6 minutes of the flight to illustrate the terror and suffering of those who died. The financial cost to Boeing won't be decided for many months. However, the boundaries that the agreement puts on the claims removes an overhang of uncertainty to the company. With the possibility of further revelations of wrongdoing in court proceedings now remote, Boeing leaders can leave it to the lawyers to work out the precise compensation amounts while they move on. I imagine most of you are probably feeling like Ralph Nader right about now, thinking that it sure seems like Boeing got off easy again. And there is some truth to that, but it is a win for the poorer families in Africa who now will get to have their case heard in an American court, where they are sure to receive a lot more compensation than they would have in their home countries. But as is always the case, I am looking forward to hearing what all of you have to say, so let me know down below. Well, that'll do it for now. As always, on your way out, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell. And remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you next time in the air. Yeah, this is Maximus.